Sometimes I worry about my speech because I don't know what's gonna happen next, and I don't know if I'm gonna stutter on one word or the next.
It's confusing that sometimes you can talk fine without stuttering at all, and then some days it's hard to say anything.
It makes me feel like frustrated and mad and angry.
I think everyone should know, like, not to pressure anyone who stutters.
The hardest part is like presentations or like giving an answer.
When I was younger, it always made me feel sad when people just walked away when I was in the middle of a sentence.
Here are some facts you should know about stuttering. 3 to 4 boys stutter for every girl.
20% of all children will stutter at some point in their development.
If a child has been stuttering longer than 3 years, it is very unlikely that he will outgrow it.
While there is no known cure for stuttering, therapy can be highly effective.
Stuttering is not a psychological problem.
Children who stutter show no differences in intelligence from children who don't.
Stuttering can vary from situation to situation. Stuttering can be cyclical, meaning that it comes and goes. Here are some examples of what children do when they stutter.
I'm actually kind of scared, I guess. Like,
They let me the same amount if I stutter or not.
I get frustrated and...
Now let's hear how some children feel about their stuttering.
Speaking has always been so stressful for me that if I have to speak, I want to get it over with as quickly as possible.
It actually makes me frustrated when I can't breathe.
I'm really scared to talk in school.
And then like I get worried like what other people might think.
In math class, I had to say the word negative, and when I thought of the N, I brought my confidence level down, and I didn't want to speak because I knew if I had to, I would stutter. Even though math is my favorite subject, I didn't really like it. I started not to like it anymore.
At the beginning of the school year, I was embarrassed when I first met my classmates when I was reading in a group.
I might get mad because like I'm being stopped by like the fact that I stutter.
These negative feelings can impact the child both academically and socially.
If I'm like talking, like if I can't say a word, I might like change what I'm saying, or like if I know the answer or something, I still won't put my hand up because I know like I'll get stuck. Or
when I was having a bad speech day, I would simply just just sit in my seat and not raise my hand, and that's really how I would act.
When I was in probably 5th, 6th, and 7th grades, I was picked on so much about my stuttering. I couldn't really talk to anyone. Most of my friends weren't my friends anymore, I felt like, because they picked on me about my stuttering so much. And there was a time when I wouldn't even go to lunch because I didn't want to sit at a table by myself. So I'd go sit in the library and I'd take out a book and I'd sit in between the aisles and read it until the bell rang.
It's important to remember this isn't true for all children.
It's not really much of a problem. Like, it happens, and I just feel confident about you know, my speech. Even though I may mess up, I'm not ashamed about it, you know. I just keep on going and make sure that I'm heard, you know.
Stuttering is, stuttering is not as big as an issue for me as it was back when I was younger, because after I went to speech therapy, I learned some new methods.
Teachers often have many questions about how they can best help children who stutter.
What should I do when a child stutters in my class?
Just don't say anything and be patient.
You shouldn't like finish people's like sentences for them.
A lot of listeners have told me things like to slow down or to take a breath or to just say it, just to spit the word out, which really makes me feel bad because it's really not that easy and they really don't know what a person goes through when he stutters.
In speech therapy, children learn techniques to manage their stuttering in more appropriate ways. We may call these techniques speech tools. Children often don't have the maturity or the skills to remember to use these tools all of the time. Unless the child or the speech pathologist specifically asks you to help, it may be best not to remind the child to use his tools in your classroom.
Should your teacher remind you to use them?
No.
Why is that?
Because I feel like that is a speech teacher's job, and they should not take time out of the class because I feel like I should need to remember on my own. And if everybody keeps telling me to use them, then I'll never have a chance to try and remember.
Joe, do you think that elementary teachers should expect the children who stutter in their classes to use their speech management tools all the time?
At that age, when you're younger, anywhere from kindergarten through 6th grade, I don't think a student has the maturity level as they might when they're older, so they probably aren't prone to think about using their techniques as much as an older person might.
What should I do when the child is having a difficult speaking day?
Just be patient and wait for me to raise my hand and don't fill in what I was going to say.
I don't think I'd want them to treat me any differently because, I mean, I want them to know that I'm not ashamed if I'm having a bad speech day, and they should, just treat me the same. And if I raise my hand to call on me and not, try to make sure not to let me talk, just act normally.
Well, on those days, that I knew I would block during those days, I did particularly dread being called on because I knew for a fact that I would stutter. So on those days, I was fearful of being called on. But on the other hand, I did want to be treated again, just like everybody else in the class. And if the teacher wanted to call on me, I'm all for that. And although granted, I'm more prone to stutter when they call me that day because I'm having a bad speech day, it helps me to confront the issue.
Some children won't agree.
It would help to not call on me unless I'm raising my hand. Or let me say pass if we have to read from a book.
It's always best to check with the child about what he or she wants you to do on those more difficult talking days.
What should I do if the child who stutters interrupts another child?
Handle interruptions the same way you would for a child who doesn't stutter. Children who stutter sometimes interrupt others because it's easier to get speech going. But they too need to learn the rules for good communication, just like all of the other children in your class.
Occasionally, the students in my class are required to give oral reports. How can I make that easier for the stuttering child?
Whenever we do timed speeches, they let me have extra time.
What kinds of things are you going to do to help you feel more comfortable? about giving the speech next week?
Well, I'm at home, like, I'm gonna, like, try to practice a lot, and like, and after I'm up there, I might, like, tell the class that I will stutter, even though they know, but, like, just to let them know, like, again or whatever.
There are many things you can do to help make oral presentations a more positive experience. Together, you and the child can develop a plan, considering factors such as the order she'd like to go in, ways she can practice, whether to give the speech in private, in a small group, or in front of the entire class, and other issues like time limits.
Should I talk to the entire class about the stuttering?
Only if, like, the person who stutters wants them to.
I think that when I was younger, I do believe that it is important for the teacher to talk to the other kids about my stuttering. Not really to make it a big issue, but maybe just to let them know that I stutter, and that if they do see me stutter, you know, they can know how to deal with it and know why I'm doing it.
Well, we shared a story and we talked about the famous people who stuttered, and we talked about what it was like to stutter and how it felt to other people.
How did you feel after you made your speech presentation for your classroom?
I felt good. I felt proud of myself.
How should I handle teasing?
Deal with teasing as you would with any other child who's being teased.
Maybe explain to them what stuttering is. Maybe they don't understand what stuttering is, and if they had a better understanding of it, they wouldn't tease them anymore.
A few boys in my class started to laugh at me, and I just went through my speech and I finished it. Then later, like after class, I talked to them though, and I told them that it was that I had a stuttering problem, and that they shouldn't be laughing at like people who stutter, and I can't do anything about it. It's not my fault.
Listen as Peter remembers a helpful suggestion.
In 7th grade, I had a speech pathologist named Mark Morris, and I felt really close to him, and I told him about how everybody picked on me and teased me about my stuttering, and he told me this story about how when he was in grade school, he didn't have the same backpack that everybody else had, and he felt really horrible, and like he felt like everyone didn't like him because he didn't have it, and that sort of made me realize that no matter what, everyone is somehow different from everyone else, and I sort of stuttering was my way that I was different, and that sort of helped me think about it.
What type of thing should I say to a child to encourage them to talk more in my class?
Let me know my stuttering does not bother you.
Let me know that it's good that I share my ideas in the class.
Let me know it's okay with you that I stutter.
Tell me you're glad that I'm talking in your class.
There are usually two main goals in stuttering therapy. One, to make talking easier, and two, to develop healthy attitudes and feelings about talking.
Keep in mind, however, making talking easier does not mean eliminating all stuttering. Children learn to manage stuttering by learning speech tools, but using them consistently can be difficult for many reasons.
For example, a child might be unsure about how to use the speech tools, excited or rushed, tired or sick, or having difficulty with the language demands of the speaking situation.
Speech therapy can be a long-term process. Children may show changes in both how they talk and how they feel about talking as they learn to successfully manage their stuttering.
How did speech therapy help you?
I don't stutter as much as I did, and like everyone knows about it and stuff, so like they don't like tease me or anything about it.
Speech therapy has helped me gain more confidence in myself to speak in class for presentations or just saying the answer.
It's made me more confident in my speech, and also like I've learned ways like to get out of blocks and how to like handle my speech if I'm having like a hard day or anything like that.
While using speech tools can make talking easier, learning to change the way you talk is very difficult. Being fluent is only one part of being a good communicator. Sometimes, the harder a child tries to be fluent, the more she will stutter. Therefore, it's important to let children know it's always okay to stutter.
As the child's teacher, you play a vital role. Your observations and daily contact with the child will provide crucial information for both the evaluation and the therapy process. In this video, you have seen that there are many ways you can help the child be more comfortable and productive in the classroom.
You can call the Stuttering Foundation at 1-800-992-9392 for the names of some specialists in stuttering in your area, or visit us at www.stutteringhelp.org. Here are several Stuttering Foundation publications.